This is a segment where we answer your questions.
All right. This is the email portion. We don't get too many emails, but we did this week. And guys, you guys don't know what it is. I wanted to surprise you on this. And we only have an advantage on one little thing for you guys, but you'll understand. Go ahead, babe. Why don't you read the email? This comes from Caleb.
Okay, it says, "Hi, Mike, Sarah, Chuck, and Larry. Love the show."
Well, thanks, Caleb.
Yeah. I am one of 7 boys, and I have heard that girls getting married is much more difficult for her family than boys getting married. Since each of you have multiple married daughters, what are things I can do as a young man in a relationship with a girl to ease or make that transition easier for her family? Thanks, Caleb.
All right, Caleb. Yeah.
And we figured out that collectively we have 8 girls married between all of us. So
you just had 2.
I had 2.
We have 2, and he has 4.
I'm done. Yes. Both
And
my
you're
girls
done.
are married.
And we're the only ones that have a son married.
Yeah, we're the only ones with a son married.
That is true.
And married one of your daughters.
Yes,
So this is actually a fairly good question. And I think...
Well, first of all, I'm impressed by the question to be asked anyway, that the young man's interested in easing it, making it easier on
Yes. Well, he's a smart man.
Yeah.
He's a smart man. So, yes, Caleb, you're one of 7 boys, and you want to make it easier. But here's the thing, though, and you guys jump in. Well, we've been complaining about this because we just went through one that didn't go so smoothly. And
just one. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, never mind.
Just the one. And and it was with my daughter. And so in my view, and correct me if I'm wrong, but according to scripture, tradition, culture, whatever you want to call it, it is my duty as a father to protect my daughter.
Yeah,
that's true.
And so I have things set up to protect my daughter from just any Yahoo that comes in. And so when this guy comes in and actually gets through the gatekeeper, me, and Abigail was older, so she knew what she was looking for, but I was helping with the process. But once we got to that point, I expected the man's family to get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Like, I want to focus on the boy,
right?
The man,
right, because he's the one marrying your daughter,
right? I want to deal with him. I don't want to have to deal with his mom and his dad and his brothers and his sisters, as much as I respect them and might even love them. I don't want. It has nothing to do with them,
right?
So my suggestion is, get your family out of it. It's not that your mom and dad, Caleb, can't have suggestions. So like when Jeremiah was pursuing your daughter, Chuck, I told Jeremiah, I said, look, man, whatever the rules are that Chuck comes up with, go with it, man. You got to listen to him. And I'm out. That doesn't mean that I can't talk to him and calm him down, because he's, oh man, some of these rules are tough. I'm like, you don't know what tough is, son. This is pretty easy compared to some. But I could still give him advice. I could still talk to him as a man, but to control him of how he's supposed to deal with, I don't think that's my place at that point. He's launched out to go find a wife. He needs to go find a wife.
Yeah. And that in and of itself is a piece that I'll take from, because having both daughters and sons, obviously a lot more daughters than sons, my take on it is I'm preparing my son to go find a wife.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and to be that leader, the husband, provider.
Right. So sending them out or having them go out to pursue a young lady is easier in one respect, because even though I have the same amount of time possibly invested in both, which that's probably the biggest thing, Caleb, is on average we got 20 years of our life invested in these daughters and sons, but we're not sending our daughters out necessarily to go look for a husband, sure, they'll do it, but they're not actively pursuing it necessarily. So it's a different feeling. It's a different set of emotions that goes along with
absolutely.
it.
No, that's no doubt.
So just understanding the difference may help some.
Well, I would say as much as you can, spend time with the family.
Sure.
Yeah.
To get to know them, you get to know her as well, and they get to know you. And the more you're around, the more comfortable everybody becomes with everybody. And then you get to see, in some cases, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And you get to play sports like volleyball or something, and then you can see how somebody reacts when they're losing or when they're winning.
In my circumstance. But
so yes, to make it easier. One, and if it's a case like my daughter, they're gone. They moved to Virginia. So both of them actually. So.
Yes. Yeah, no.
But it's Jenna Kate. It was harder to get to know her husband
because there's just distance.
Right, because the distance. But like for Amanda, Sage was here a lot.
He came over all the time.
Yeah, he was. And so we got to know him. And in fact, we actually took a couple trips together.
Right.
And so that's a really good way to get to know somebody.
That's a very good way.
And in fact, the first trip we were like, So, well, we had a chance.
He was a little bit too much like Larry.
Yeah. we had a chance to talk it through and just realize, we were just kind of getting to know each other, and it actually it worked out good. So
yeah, you got to learn. Just be yourself. Don't try to impress them to what you think they want. Just be yourself.
Just be yourself, yeah.
But yeah, getting to spend time with their family. So Sarah was like, you had a verse you wanted to say, right?
Well, yeah, I think the best thing, Caleb, for you would be to know to leave and cleave.
Leave and cleave.
Right.
And I think that's so important.
The command is to the man to leave his father and mother. It never says for the woman. Now that's assumed.
Yeah.
But the command is for the man to stop hanging on to mom and dad.
Right.
Yeah, get off the coattails and go establish your family. That doesn't mean you can't live on the property. It doesn't mean you can't, but you got to be your own man.
Right.
You got to mom and dad can't be telling you what to do.
I was going to add one more thing to that to help the family of the bride. Don't expect an extravagant wedding.
Oh,
where it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah.
Like Amanda and Sage, their wedding wasn't that expensive.
but what if that's what she wants?
Well, if that's what her family wants, then that's fine if they got the money. But don't expect it. You as a prospective husband, don't expect to spend a lot of money. In fact, I found my theory is the more people spend on a wedding, the shorter the marriage.
Less likely it's going to survive.
Good thing ours was cheap.
I don't know if it works the other way. I've known some shotgun weddings that didn't, they didn't last very long.
Well,
but
and the leave and cleave thing that we were talking about,
important.
I feel like it's natural for, maybe to me it seems natural for a woman to want to cleave to her husband.
Yes.
But if I'm not just cleaving to you, but I'm cleaving to you and your family and whatever,
That's a
it's
huge
like
problem.
It doesn't work the same. It's like God designed me to want to, once we are together, it's like I just want to be with you. I want to follow you. I want to support you. But that's really hard to do to a whole people group. It's like it's just meant to be between a husband and a wife.
Right. It's very problematic, especially in these patriarchal homes where you're trying to make everything generational, and the father tends to want to control everything, and the son never really actually becomes his own person. That's not good. It's not safe. It's not good. It's not biblical. And so he needs to be his own person. And so, Caleb, I would suggest just you have that heart-to-heart with your family and just say, I know you might have expectations to maybe be involved in the process, but you're going to have to drop it because it's really good for you to go pursue. And the wife's family is going to be a little bit more controlling. They're the ones that are the woman. Let me put it this way: the woman has a lot to lose.
Yeah,
they have a lot to lose in many different ways. A guy wants to take.
Yep.
If you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to use code words here. And the guy wants to take, and it's my job to protect my daughter, and like you're not taking until you're ready to take. And in fact, if you take too early, she's left with the fruit of it. And that's very problematic. And you don't think about it at the time. And so it's very, very a woman has a lot to lose in going out and dating and without any protection. And so the father should have some sort of protection for their daughters.
Right.
Now, there can be very extremely controlling dads, and you can be like a dad who doesn't care and be like, just go find someone and get married. But there should be some kind of protection there,
Right.
some kind of rules that are in place that you would want that are comfortable for that couple.
And you need to respect those.
Caleb, as the man, you need to respect those, and you're the one that wants to spend time with the family. You need to adjust, and for the sake of that, you want to make the prospective bride as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
You want to pursue her, and I think we just recently saw. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. So you want to be. You want to make her as comfortable as possible. Anyway, Caleb, I know we went way over now, Joshua. So why don't we go ahead and end it? And I guess that's the end of the show. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And if you have questions about that, which I'm sure people might, you can email us at talk@fellowshipofbelievers.org. All right. We'll see you next time.